Does any other member seek recognition?
Mr.
Chair
Chairman,
recognizes Ms. Green.
I'd like to know if any of the Democrats on this committee are employing Judge Merchan's daughter.
Please tell me what that has to do with Merrick Garland.
Is she a porn star?
Oh, Goldman, that's right. He's advising. Okay.
He's advising who? What? Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about
just
AG
a-
Garland.
I don't
Point
think
of-
you
point
know
of
what
order.
you're here
President.
for.
Well, you the one talking about. I guess
I
you're
think
still
your
stuck in the
fake eyelashes
courtroom.
are messing up
No,
what you're
ain't
reading.
nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order,
Mr. Chairman,
That's beneath
would
even
you
you,
please
Mr. Green.
regain
That's beneath
order
even
of your
you.
committee?
order.
Please.
There's a point of order.
We have a point of order. Mr. Lynch, state your point.
Mr. Chairman, I would just like to ask the parliamentarian if your conduct here in raising money in connection with this hearing is referable to the Ethics Committee within this hearing. Is a motion in order to refer your conduct and your abuse of
It's not a
process?
point of order. not a
Mr.
point
I
of
do
order.
have a point of order, and I would like to move to take down Ms. Green's words. That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you
meeting will
attack the
suspend.
physical
Meeting will
appearance of another
suspend.
person?
Are your
Move
feelings
her
hurt?
words down.
Aw.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play. with
Baby
me.
girl?
We're gonna,
I don't
We
think
are going to
so.
move, and we're going to take your words down.
I
Thank you very
second that motion.
Ms. Green, do you wish to strike your words?
I have 4 minutes and 21 seconds to speak.
I think we have to do the motion first, and then unless there's another motion, then you'll be recognized again. But I believe there's another motion coming. So, you agree to strike your words?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
agree.
Ms. Green agrees to strike her words.
I believe she
Chair
needs to
recognizes
apologize. No, no, she
Perry.
needs to apologize.
Okay, hold on. Then after Mr. Perry's going to be recognized, then Ms. Green
I'm not
has 4 minutes and
apologizing.
21
Well,
seconds.
then
Okay,
you're
reserve
not
the right to
striking your
object.
words.
I am
Mr.
not
Chair,
apologizing.
Now let's go. Come on, guys.
Why don't you debate me?
Mr. Chairman, the
it's
minority...
pretty
No,
self-evident.
You're not.
Yeah, you're
out
not-
of order.
you don't have enough
You're out of order.
intelligence.
Chair recognizes Mr. Perry.
Okay, move to strike
I'd
the...
like to
I
strike
move to
those
strike the
words
lady's
as well.
I move to
I would
strike-
like to
Order.
strike
Strike
those
the
as
lady's
well.
words again.
Ms. Green, do you ask unanimous? Do you agree to unanimous consent to strike your words?
I repeat again for the second time. Yes, I'll
All
strike
right.
my words,
That-
but I'm not
all right.
apologizing.
Without objection. So, Ms. Green asked unanimous consent to strike her words. Mr. Raskin objected. I'm going to recognize Mr. Raskin for his objection. No, we're not counting against. Ms. Green has 4 minutes and 21 seconds left. This will not count against her time.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I reserve the right to object because the understanding of the minority is that the gentlelady from Georgia would move to take her words down and strike her words and to offer a sincere apology for having engaged in personalities against another member, offending her personal appearance and insulting her. We don't do that in this committee. And I think the major problem was that we allowed pornography in this committee, and we've gone down a bad road. But in any event, we should not allow face-to-face ad hominem insults. It's totally contrary to the rules of the House of Representatives. And I would ask Ms. Green if she would just make the apology. It's not that complicated. We don't want to get into face-to-face insults.
You will never get an apology out of me. I don't owe you
Then I
one.
object. Then I
All right.
object, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Raskins objects.
I think we don't want to see a complete dissent of our committee. And the verbatim quote, of the gentlelady was, "I think your fake eyelashes are messing up your reading." That is what she said. I think your fake eyelashes, and that's obviously engaging in personalities. It's an ad hominem attack, and I would just ask every member of this committee, in a fair-minded way, would you want to be talked to in that way about your personal appearance by another member of the committee? Because what we're doing is we're setting standards going forward.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad-built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
Chairman, I make a motion to strike those words.
I don't think that's a
Hold on.
I'm
parliament.
trying to find clarification on what qualifies.
Chairman,
I didn't-
motion to
I had
strike
no
those
idea
words.
what you just said.
We're not gonna do this. Look, you guys earlier literally just said
You
Y'all did it
just
first.
voted to do
Y'all did
it.
it first, so you
You
don't want to
just
talk about
voted to do it.
Order.
I'm trying to get
Okay.
clarification.
Look at, calm down. calm
No,
down.
because this
I
is
would
what
like to
y'all
get
do.
through proceedings.
So I'm trying
Hey,
to
Ms.
get
Crockett,
clarification.
you're not
Y'all wanna
recognized.
play
Ms.
games.
I can't hear
Crockett.
you with your
And
yelling.
You don't want
Calm
me to
down.
Be,
Can
no,
you please calm
don't
down?
tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all
Please
talk
calm
noise,
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if I
Look,
come,
Chairman,
if I
can
come
we
and
send
talk
a
about
break
her,
for 5
y'all
minutes?
gonna have a
Mr.
problem.
Chairman, Mr.
Order.
Chairman.
Who wants to take a whack at this? I mean, these people are elected.
This just goes to the whole thing we're talking about all day today, that how far have we come? And why are these people even acceptable? This is it's disgusting that this is how they're behaving. And why are they attacking each other personally? They have enough to attack each other on their views. They don't need to attack each other on their eyelashes and their hair.
Here, what's depressing about this is that it's not that unusual for the House these days. I mean, whether it was Kevin McCarthy's many rounds to get elected Speaker, people getting in each other's faces, they almost started hitting each other during that. And so it's not just these three women. I've watched the men behave unbelievably, calling each other names. The House is in absolute chaos, and we have been electing a lot of clowns in this country, and we are getting a circus.
I'm sure that it has always been true that there are clowns in the House of Representatives. There also used to be a career path where you put your head down, you did the work, you amassed some seniority, you built a staff, you built a reputation, you built partnerships, and you passed laws, which is what you were there to do. And this is the comic and eye-catching side of the problem with the Congresses of the past few years, which is they're remarkably unproductive. And when you think about problems that Americans have, from the cost of nursing home care to how do you get health insurance to climate change to are the taxes too high to the debates as we have this all-party consensus that is building in favor of more protectionism and trying to enrich ourselves by keeping out foreign goods, that these are things that you would think that the House of Representatives should be having a voice on, but laws don't get passed, this stuff happens. And so this you can see, and it gives you an idea. It's important as a clue to all the things that you don't see because they're not happening.
One thing about this, too, is that it does come down to leadership. I mean, James Comer, this was his committee that devolved into this back and forth. Here was how he tried to explain what happened.
I don't know if you've noticed it. I have 2 hearing aids. I'm very deaf. I'm not understanding. Everybody's yelling. I'm doing the best I can. Can we not recognize Ms. Green and let her
We
get?
cannot because of the rules of the committee, Mr. Chair.
I sort of wonder how he didn't hear this piece of it. Watch.
We're not gonna do this. Look, you guys earlier literally just
Oh.
said
You
that-
just voted to do
Y'all
it.
did it first, so you
You
don't want to
just
talk about
voted to do
Say
it.
you're gonna get
Order,
Marjorie
order.
on
I'm
the
trying to
lead.
get clarification.
Look at
and
yelling.
You don't want
Calm
me to
down.
Be,
Can
no,
you please calm
don't
down?
tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all
Please
talk
calm
noise,
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if I
Look,
come,
Chairman,
if I
can
come
we
and
send
talk
take a
about
break
her,
for 5
y'all
minutes?
gonna have a problem.
Megan?
I mean, it's like a circus. And it's a circus where people are screaming at each other. I guess Comer couldn't blame his wife because he didn't think of that excuse fast enough to solve this problem. That seems to be what we're blaming people for today. I just don't understand how this is acceptable behavior from our lawmakers who need to be passing laws. People actually have issues in this country, and we need to have actual laws.
One of the things that's been interesting about voters, we ask about Congress a lot.
Yeah.
And it's funny, they very much want results, but they do not want compromise. And voters in this country seem to have lost the plot that it requires compromise to get results, which is, I think, why you now see people reaching for sort of the strongman authoritarian types, because they have forgotten that actually the way this body is supposed to function is by doing the hard work, putting their heads down, reaching a compromise that makes everybody a little bit unhappy and a little bit happy, and ultimately you get something done for the American people. And so people want things done. They don't want them to compromise. They want them to be in opposition like that, and that's why we have all this dysfunction.
Yeah, well, I mean, and to what you were saying, David, too, when celebrity seems to be the goal of coming to Congress, you end up in situations like this.
Well, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is sort of an example of this, because look, Marjorie Taylor Greene has no choice but to be Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's just there's no upper floor of the building there. But Ocasio-Cortez has potential to go in a number of different ways in her career, and that the incentives are pulling her toward the Instagram influencer, the viral moment, the no big bills path.
I will say Ocasio-Cortez is not always like this in committee hearings. I mean, she was jumping in defending someone, and she actually was the one who knew the rules of the committee, was using them to her, and she's usually very prepared for these hearings. But continue.
Okay, so she has a path. I mean, I think what we're also coping with is this is a Congress that doesn't have a majority in the House of Representatives, the inhibitions, what might happen under a different political culture is the speaker would put together a working majority, half of his party, a third of the other party, and build a majority from the center out. But that is completely prohibited by the culture of the modern House of Representatives. That's how actually things were often done in the past, especially in the 50s and 60s when the partisanship was a little more blurry. You would have this functioning coalition of the center of moderate Democrat, usually with a Democratic speaker, or in those days always with a Democratic speaker, but putting some of the Democratic members out to the margins, putting many of the Republican members out to the margins. But our political culture doesn't allow that middle out coalition anymore.
It does not.